Welcome everybody to the podcast, Ed, and Eddie. Today we're going to be taking a look at green tea medication. Today we have invited our guest, Orlando Lopez, coming all the way from the Merced area.
Yeah.
And we also have our nurse, Jarrell. She has a lot of experience with... Whichever is closest. She has a lot of experience with the elderly population, and green tea is something she uses all the time. We also have our very special guest, our botanist, Aubrey, not volleyball.
Yeah.
And she's going to be explaining us about the green tea and her own personal production farms that she runs. And finally, but not least, we have Dr. Oliva Silva, and she will be addressing Orlando's concerns and going into how he can use green tea for maximum efficacy.
Right. And who are you?
And I am the host, of course. We run these podcasts all the time. We help patients just like Orlando, who may not know where to start, who don't want to take the medications and be paying monthly for medications that are going to end up hurting his liver on the long run.
Right.
We want to take the most naturalistic approach, and that is the point of this podcast, is to get people off the meds to the herbs.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect.
So Orlando, why don't you tell us about your symptoms?
So, lately I've been feeling really lethargic, problems with my energy, it's hard to stay motivated to, go out to the gym or go on a run, stuff like that, so I feel really tired. On top of that, I have some stress problems. I'm in nursing school, second semester.
Very stressed. I mean that.
It's been tough lately, pharmacology, stuff like that. And then on top of that, I have some digestive issues. It's kind of tough going to the bathroom lately, so I want that addressed as well. And then my weight, I've been gaining a lot of pounds recently, so I want to maybe find a solution to cut back on that.
And have you had any tests done, like EKG, blood tests, anything like that recently?
Nothing too crazy. I just went to my doctor not too long ago. I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes, high blood pressure, so that's really it for now.
And did they recommend that you take any medications?
They did, but I went against it. I didn't want to, be on meds all the time, taking even over-the-counter stuff or the prescription stuff. I don't really trust that.
Bodies.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of family members that have, had really bad reactions to medication, so I want to just stay off that for now.
Does that mean you have family history of anything?
Yes, yeah, so my dad, he's had a lot of problems with his heart, so
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, it's tough, but he's on a lot of medications, and yeah, it's helping him, but there's a lot of side effects that come with it, so I want to keep that to a minimum for now.
So we always do want to recommend that patients, or viewers out there, do listen to their doctors and
Right.
try to take the medications if they're really needed. But there are certain cases where we can consider complementary alternative medicine. And in this case, we want to recommend to you green tea. So we're
Perfect.
going to have our
Yeah.
botanical specialist tell you a little bit about green tea.
Let's hear about it.
Okay, so green tea. First, what do you know about it?
Not much. I've never had it. I've had friends that have had green tea, but I've never really, asked what does it do?
It's perfectly fine. So these plants, this green tea, it comes from the plant Camellia sinensis. And to produce green tea, leaves from this plant are steamed, pan-fried, and dried. And this tea has been used for medicinal purpose in China and Japan for thousands of years.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the chemical composition of green tea, by dry weight, it's made up of protein and enzymes, amino acids, carbohydrates, methylxanthines, including caffeine,
Okay.
fiber,
Need that.
and polyphenols and flavonoids like catechins. And 30% of green tea is composed of these catechins. And these catechins are responsible for the health effects that you may have heard about green tea. And so the most abundant catechin is epigallocatechin 3 gallate, EGCG.
Right.
And so these are antioxidants that help prevent cell damage and provide other health benefits.
Uh-huh.
And researchers found that the EGCGs has found these may have been involved in improving various health conditions or markers of disease.
Okay.
Yeah. And green tea also happens to have the highest amount of antioxidants compared to others.
Really?
Yeah. So again, one of the many reasons why it mediates many of green tea's health effects.
A lot of interesting stuff. Can you go back to that first picture,
Yeah.
manager, please?
That one?
No, to the one. So this.
Oh.
Tell us more about like this operation that you run.
Well, here you can just see one of our many green tea farms, and this is them just harvesting the fresh green tea leaves. So once you do start drinking green tea, hopefully by the end of this podcast,
Right.
that it's organic.
Exactly.
You don't have to
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
about it being any of those medications.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can see it right away. Look, the nature, the beauty.
It's natural.
It's natural.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
That's why I'm here.
as opposed, these medications, who knows where they're coming from? Who knows what they're doing to your body?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
So green tea, it's got tons of health effects. Like Aubrey had just told us, it's got tons of antioxidant properties. For students especially, we eat a lot of fast foods. We eat stuff that's not super high in nutrients, and antioxidant effects of green tea. How do you pronounce it again? Catechins. They help trap free radicals in the body, which is what antioxidants do.
Mm-hmm.
And that can help decrease inflammation, which also helps improve your heart health. It can help increase your brain health. I know you said you had a little bit of brain fog.
Yeah.
The stimulating properties of it can help get the blood pumping, get that good stuff where it needs to go. It can also help with weight management because it's a stimulant. It can help increase your heart rate, get your body moving, give you more energy.
Right.
There are some research that indicate it could help with cancer prevention, but everybody out there, take your chemotherapy and do not take just green tea.
Right.
Anyway, so why don't we have Nurse Jarrell tell us about
We have one of our patients out there.
Yeah.
Previous patient.
Previous patient.
Yeah.
No, we have a lot of patients in the podcast. I'm very grateful with the work we do,
Yeah.
and we're happy.
exactly.
We're happy to meet
Special
them again,
guests.
see them again.
so you want to tell us about the nurse's perspective on green tea?
Yes, so I work at a nursing home currently, and our older patients do prefer green tea because they
Yeah.
can get bitter, and sometimes older patients kind of like the bitter taste, and yeah, they like it. But
Yeah.
for you, you're younger, you probably don't like bitter very much.
Not really.
Yeah, so I'm here to help you
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm like a.
better prepare
And a little
your
bit
green
of a
tea.
sweet tooth.
Yeah, exactly.
So since you're just starting, you probably wouldn't want to drink too much green tea. I recommend
Slow.
about
Okay.
1 to 3 cups per day, preferably in the morning or early afternoon.
Right.
Never do evenings because it is a stimulant, so it's gonna disturb your sleep.
Uh-huh.
And then when you're buying your green tea leaves, you want your leaves high quality and loose leaf.
Right.
Aubrey here will help you with that.
Okay.
It has better flavor, probably not as bitter very much. And then when you're preparing it, it's only drink with a drink, never IV, never snorted,
Okay.
Smoked? No
no
smoke.
smoking,
Ah,
Can I smoke this green stuff, man?
come on.
no
man.
chewing. So
Okay.
yeah, you're gonna take a packet or your loose leaf
Yeah.
and then put it, steep it into hot water for
Okay.
2-3 minutes. But there have been people who like it with colder water. It will
Okay.
take a little longer to steep, but
Yeah.
taste.
Same stuff.
So
And we have packets here in front of you, man. Go ahead and take it, open it so you can smell it. Kind of
Open
see.
it?
Yeah.
It's,
Is that fine?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah.
Just
Open it
fresh.
so you could take a look and see, like what this really is.
So
It's
for
nothing like.
these sachets, you
Does it
packets.
smell high
How
quality?
does it smell?
That's
Smells
that's
great,
high
right?
quality. That's from the farm.
Mm.
That's not bad.
Do you want to tell us about like the nursing implications for adverse effects?
Yes, green tea is pretty good, not much of a risk.
Okay.
But you said you're a nursing student,
Yes.
so you probably like to drink coffee, energy drinks, all
Exactly.
that. Yes. Those have a lot of caffeine. Green tea also has caffeine, so you probably want to substitute some of your coffee or energy drink with green tea because that has a bit more health benefits on top of the caffeine. So here you want to watch out for any symptoms of caffeine overdose. So those would be any trouble breathing, changes in your alertness, so maybe you get too alert or you're not, like very drowsy, get agitated, get shaky and all that.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm kind of feeling that right now. I had some caffeine before this. I'm a little
That
shaky.
makes sense.
Kind of tweaking.
It could also be the nerves, from being on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
We have a lot of
A
viewers.
little nervous, yeah.
The average caffeine overdose.
Okay.
You probably want to
Yeah, that makes
watch
sense.
out for
Like,
any
what's the your
confusions,
provider?
yes, or any hallucinations. And at that point, you'd want to go to your healthcare provider or go to JPR, because in more severe cases, it could result in convulsions or seizures. So you want to
That's not
prevent
good.
that.
Not good, but these are very rare. We're talking like less
Rare.
than 1%.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly. So
gotcha,
don't
gotcha.
really need to be too worried about that.
Gotcha.
And then along the lines of risks, we do have quite a few drug interactions. So you did say that you
Hypertensive.
Yeah.
pre-hypertensive.
Pre-hypertensive, yeah.
So you're not currently taking any medication, but
Not right
should
now.
you in the future be prescribed any beta blockers such as metoprolol or propranolol, green tea can increase your blood pressure, so it can decrease the effects of beta blockers. Same with blood thinning medications such as warfarin. It can make it ineffective because green tea contains vitamin K.
Oh, okay.
And you also mentioned that you'd like to take melatonin, right?
Yeah, so I've been taking melatonin pretty much ever since I started nursing school. It helps.
And with green tea, you want to make sure that you're taking it in the morning or
Okay.
earlier in the day, and stop taking any green tea, drinking any green tea like 2-3 hours before bed. So you don't want to take your melatonin and green tea at the same time because they're gonna negate the effects of each other.
Gotcha.
And for our audience out there, anybody who takes adenosine, which is a medication usually used for arrhythmia, it can also decrease the effects of that because it's a stimulant. It can have effects on your heart rate. For benzodiazepines, which usually are used for their sedative effects for anxiety, it's the same reason. It's a stimulant, and it can that increased heart rate can also lead to increased anxiety.
Right.
And then clozapine, which is an antipsychotic for schizophrenia. You do not want to take your clozapine if you have taken, like if you drank a green tea within the past 40 minutes,
Okay.
because it can reduce the effects.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, thank you for having you on the podcast. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
It's been a pleasure. It's been great.
We do have a big surprise for you.
Oh yeah.
Let's hear
So
it.
with the team we put together this fabulous plan, we're gonna have our doctor, Oliva Silva, is gonna go check up on you every 2 weeks, make sure you're doing
Yeah.
great with the side effects
All right.
for a total of 2 years.
Oh.
We're gonna have our
Yeah.
botanist.
Okay.
She's gonna supply you with 2 years of supply of green tea straight from the
Whoa.
factory.
Every week, here's your
That's
first
right.
batch of the week.
Yeah.
And finally, we're gonna have our nurse, Jureo. She's gonna be coming into your house to prepare you the green tea every day
Thank
for
you.
Every
2
You need to
years.
give me a spare house key so I don't have to break it.
All right, yeah, I'll do that.
So we're very thankful. We hope we're gonna catch up with you on this.
yeah, of course.
Hopefully your symptoms improve and able to stay off the meds or the herbs.
Gotcha.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in on the podcast. We hope to see you guys on the next episode. Don't leave too much. Thank you, everybody.